Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NBA DraftKings slate on Monday, August 24th. It's Kobe Day, so play LeBron, video's over. No, but seriously, we got a good slate of games today, NBA playoff games. We have a few games series that are looking like it's about to be over. Miami looks like they're about to end the Pacers series. The Blazers and Lakers series and the Bucks Magic are coming closer and closer to ending, so we're getting closer to the second round. But then we also do have the OKC and Houston series, which it looked like it took a little bit of a turn in the last game, so we'll see what happens in there. But before I get into all that, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, turn on the notification bell. All those things really help me grow this channel. We've had a lot of growth throughout NASCAR season, and we getting some growth through NBA season. So stick around for all that stuff. NFL is coming up soon. College football is coming up soon. College basketball later on in the season. So I'm really excited for all those sports to return and to start getting out content for you guys for that as well. If you want more of my content, you can subscribe to my Patreon. I'll put the link in the description below. It's only $10 a month for NBA. You're going to get a cheat sheet with all the stats you need to know, along with projections for DraftKings, FanDuel, Super Draft, Fantasy Draft, and Yahoo, along with a daily articles, salaries, your rankings, injury notes, and a cash score for every single day. So be sure to check all that out. If you want to follow me on social media, my Instagram is @Natelane_. My Twitter is @TFSNatelane. Just love talking about sports over there, mainly. Mostly basketball right now, but I mean, once football season starts, I'll be very active talking about football over there. I love talking about fantasy football, just DFS in general. Yesterday was a big NASCAR day for me, so talked all about that on there. So be sure to check all that stuff out for me. Yeah, let's get into the video. So we're going to start off the Houston Rockets. And usually it just starts off Harden, so I'll just start off Harden again. James Harden, 11,700. Like, he really has kind of underperformed, and his usage has kind of been down, surprisingly. It hasn't been as high as everyone expected it to be, so I think that's why he's been underperforming, which makes me still really not like him as much as Giannis and the Lakers guys. But it's still James Harden, and he's still without Russell Westbrook on the floor, and if they're having a rough game, he will take over. I have no doubt about that. So I think he's still a good play, and if ownership's going to start to come down on James Harden, I think this might be the way to go with him today. He still grades out as a good play always without Russell Westbrook on the floor, so there's always that, but we'll see if he can really carry over. And then we got Eric Gordon for $6,000 on DraftKings. He's been playing a ton of minutes recently. 36 before overtime against OKC. He's just been playing a ton of minutes. He is up to 6,000, which is scary. But he's the second highest usage player on the team right now outside of Harden. He's doing a lot of things out there. He just kind of is inefficient. If he can just get his shots, make some more shots, he's going to have like a 40, 50 point game here one of these days. So Eric Gordon looks good. Someone I want to get to today. Someone I've been getting to a good bit. It just hasn't really hit yet, but he's been playing pretty well, getting me some good points. But I think Eric Gordon is a solid option to go to today. Go to Indiana Pacers, where, oh my God, Malcolm Brogdon finally paid off. I've been talking Malcolm Brogdon up for so long, ever since the playoffs started, just with all the usage and assist rate he gets with Sabonis off the floor, and he finally just paid off 68 DraftKings points last game. I hope you guys played Malcolm Brogdon, because he's just been someone I've been just playing as much as I can of him, and he just finally paid off for me. So that was a great play. I just want to continue to go back to him. I mean, I know his price rose up to 7,500 as it should have. But he still gets a massive usage rate of Sabonis off the floor. With Domantas Sabonis off the floor this year, he's got a 3% usage rate bump and a 5% assist rate bump. That's why he's doing everything. He's just doing everything. He's shooting the most shots. He's driving to the basket the most. He's getting the most assists on the whole team right now. So Malcolm Brogdon is just looking better and better every single day. Looking like the best player on the Pacers, honestly, at this point. I mean, TJ Warren, yeah, he started out the bubble great, but recently hasn't looked as hot. And I don't know, Victor Oladipo's just not good anymore, it seems like. Hopefully he'll bounce back next year, but it just doesn't look like this is the year for Oladipo. This could be the last game for the Pacers, too. So Miles Turner, 6,800, someone I want to get to today. He's been playing a ton of minutes as well. He gets a nice usage bump with Sabonis off the floor as well. And I just think he's a little too cheap. He should be like 7,000. He's not way too cheap or anything, but it's just a good option. I don't think he's not someone who's going to hurt you, and more than likely he's not going to win you a GPP, but he should be a solid play. Someone I'd look to in cash games. Someone I would look to in GPP. He does have the upside, but seems less likely to hit it than some other guys. But I think Turner's just a fine play at his price. Something I'd be satisfied getting to today. Into the LA Lakers, Anthony Davis, and I'm just going to continue Anthony Davis continues to be on these games, on these slates where it's just two sets of four, or one set of four, the other set of four. On this group of 4 games, Anthony Davis continues to be my favorite play. He's he's still the cheapest of the big 4, if you want to say, which is Harden, Giannis, Davis, and LeBron. But I think he's still a little too cheap, and I mean he's played 41 minutes in the two games that have been close against Portland. So I mean that's what I have him projected for today. He projects out as a freaking massive scorer on the day, and I mean it's just the overall matchup is good already. It's a pace-up spot. It's a nice line for Lakers. But the thing about Anthony Davis is, like, it's just continue. I'm going to continue to say it over again. No one on that team can handle him. Nobody. Who are they putting on him? I mean, if it's going to be, it hasn't really been Melo. It's been more Whiteside or Nurkic. They cannot handle Anthony Davis. Melo can't handle Anthony Davis. Wendy and Gabriel, who only played 4 minutes last game, cannot handle Anthony Davis. None of these guys can. It's a terrible matchup for all of them. And he's finally been like dominating the last two games, and I expect that to continue today. I don't see any reason why it doesn't, except for we'll talk about LeBron in a second. But Danny Green, 3,900, he's just really cheap, going to play a lot of minutes. He kind of sucks right now, can't hit anything, but played 32 minutes last game. I'll probably drop that a little bit to like 28 or something for projections, but Danny Green looks like a fine option today on the slate. I think he's someone who is really cheap, and people may not be playing him as much because he's just been sucking. But I mean, eventually the regression on the shots have got to go, and he's got to start hitting some stuff and have a really good day for us. So I think he's just a cheap value option to go to. LeBron James. So I mentioned at the beginning it was Kobe Day, Kobe Bryant's birthday today, which I mean, it's sad and everything, but LeBron is just, he's taking this thing to heart, and I just, they're wearing the Black Mamba jerseys tonight. I just don't see any way he just doesn't come out and just goes off. Like, I mean, it would just make sense. So if you played a narrative game, which there's not a lot of narratives I play, this might be one to play. I mean, it's just LeBron on Kobe Bryant Day in the Black Mamba jerseys in the playoffs. Yeah, this could be the day. And it could also go on the other side for Damian Lillard. Someone's going to go off and just give it all to Kobe after today. I would say, if you were to give me, one player to choose that to be, it'd be LeBron, and then it'd probably be Harden second. So I think LeBron is just, he also great, like, aside from that, he still grades out as a great player. Like Anthony Davis, nobody in Portland can guard him. It is a pace-up spot. It is a positive line. It is a positive matchup for LeBron. No one can guard him. Who's guarding him? Gary Trent, who's actually done a solid job for what he's been put up against, but, I mean, it's LeBron James, and he's bigger than Gary Trent or Melo, whoever they put on him, and LeBron's still just been dominating. So I think LeBron is awesome play today. I love LeBron and Anthony Davis. They are my two favorite top plays. They've pretty consistently, outside of Harden, like the first day and second day, have been like my two favorite top end plays. Bam Adebayo, $7,600. His price went up $300 after a big game the other day, and I continue to like Bam Adebayo because his play style does not fit the guy who's guarding him, Miles Turner. He had a very big day the other day. Has a nice usage rate on right now. I think Bam Adebayo he looks like a solid option. I wouldn't expect him to like be a 50, 60 point scorer on the day, but I still want to get there. Jimmy Butler's up to 8,100, which I think is where he should be, but that gives me a little bit of a reserve today to play a ton of Jimmy Butler like I have, because he's not like 76, 7,700 anymore. He's 8,100. But Jimmy Butler's been playing a ton of minutes. He's got a super high usage rate without Kendrick Nunn on the floor, who hasn't seen any minutes at all. And I know Goran Dragic, who is a high usage player, has replaced him, but still, I think Jimmy gets like a 3% bump with Dragic. Yeah, 3% bump with Dragic on the floor and Nunn off the floor. So, Butler, he looks like a solid option again. I mean, he's priced at where he should be, but he can hit the ceiling. I mean, what he's been doing has been like a 6 times his salary as of now, but that's what he's been pretty much averaging in the playoffs, around 48 in the 2 close games. So I think Butler's a fine option. I just wouldn't necessarily call him like a lock today or a super like value play like we've seen. Jay Crowder, 4,200, is going to play a lot of minutes. He's cheap. Same thing with Iguodala, is 3,500. The thing with Iguodala, he's been trash. I mean, he plays minutes, but he just doesn't do anything for you in DFS. But if he can knock down some shots, maybe get one more rebound or two, he's going to pay off pretty well. And then Goran Dragic at 6,500. He's just been playing great since the playoffs started. I mean, playing a ton of minutes, having for 36 right now. He's a high usage player, high assist rate player. He's shooting the ball a lot. He's been doing a lot on this team, and his price just keeps coming up, which scares me a little bit, which does want to make me pump the brakes a little bit. But I think, a lot of players' price came up today, and I just think he's someone he's still got to continue to go to just because the usage is there, the minutes are there, and he's just been shooting the ball really, really well. Not someone I'd want to get a ton of in GPPs, but definitely someone I want some shares of. All right, we'll get into the Milwaukee Bucks now, and we're going to start with Giannis. $11,100 for Giannis. His price is slowly creeping up more and more. They've been blowing out the Magic the last 2 games, so I do only have him for 32 minutes today, but he's just been paying it off every single time, getting up towards the 60s in points. And if the game ends up being close and he plays like 37 minutes, Giannis is going to just smash, and he's probably going to be high scorer today. So someone I want to get to, someone I think who you need some exposure to is Giannis. It is a pace-down matchup for Orlando, or for the Bucks against Orlando, but I don't really care. It's Giannis. He's someone I want to get to. Eric Bledsoe 5,900 and Brook Lopez. They're both just too cheap for guys that are going to play a ton of minutes. I just see him as solid plays. Bledsoe's like a really good cash play for me. I wouldn't necessarily not want him in GPPs because the ceiling, although he did kind of go off the last game, but for the most part, the ceiling doesn't seem to be there, especially if I'm only playing 26 minutes a game. I don't expect him to have 37 DraftKings points at 26 minutes again, like he did the other day. So I think he's a solid play, just nothing as special. I do like Brook Lopez today, 5,200 player, almost 1 point per minute player. Played Ivan for 32 minutes today. Just been playing a lot out there. Has to run around Vucevic. If he can just get some more shots to fall, maybe fall into one or two more rebounds or two, he's going to really pay off that salary for you. So I do like Brook Lopez a lot. He's probably my favorite Buck play of the day. Just because of his price, it's 5,200. I mean, there's not a ton of value on his slate, so nailing like the cheap the mid-range guys is going to be key, and I think Brook Lopez is a very, very good mid-range play today. Next, we got the OKC Thunder. This is, I think, the most interesting team on the slate today, and I think a lot on this slate really does depend on this team. So we'll start from Nerlens Noel. Steven Adams is questionable today. He got a bruised knee late in the game against Houston and had to sit, didn't return to the game, and he's questionable for today. Honestly, I think he's going to play because it's the playoffs. He's a very important player to that team. It's a bruised knee. I feel like he should be okay. But in the case that he doesn't play, Nerlens Noel automatically becomes the best value on the slate, in my opinion. $3,700. He's going to play probably like 25 minutes. I wouldn't expect him to get in the 30s, but 25 minutes for a 1.08 point per minute guy against Houston is just a great play, in my opinion. And honestly, I think even then, Darius Bazley is going to get more minutes too, and he could really be the sneaky play today. Because Houston, we all know, plays small. Nerlens Noel may just not fit the game script, and Darius Bazley could go out there and run around for like 25 minutes and just be absolute smash with with a cheap salary and nobody playing him. So if Steven Adams is out, I would definitely get a ton of shares of Noel at that point, but I also would try to get a little bit of Darius Bazley. But that is all, contingent on if Steven Adams does play or not. So be sure to look out for that. And we're probably not going to get that before lock, as that is the second game of the day, which is honestly, I like that better. If you're someone who pays attention, you're going to know if he's out, and a lot of people wouldn't before lock. So if we were to find out Steven Adams is out before lock, then Nerlens Noel is going to be the most popular player today. So just be on the lookout today. We haven't really had to look out for much in the bubble or in the playoffs. The only thing that was kind of tilting was the Reggie Jackson not starting the other day, so we had to pivot off of him. But other than that, I think this is really it. So be sure to look out for the Steven Adams news. I'll post it on Twitter. I'll make sure to retweet it if I see it. So if not, just follow Fantasy Labs on Twitter. They usually get it out pretty good. So yeah, that's. But the rest of this, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, $7,400, been balling. I have him for 43 minutes right now. He's just been playing a ton of minutes as of late. He played 48 last game. That's with overtime, so I just gave him 43 today. He's just been playing so much. He's a pretty high usage player, 0.99 point per minute player. Put up like 53 last game. He's just been playing really, really good. I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to be a great player in the NBA, an all-star player in the NBA. And I just love to see his rise continue. So I continue to like him, continue to want to get to him. Chris Paul at 8,000. He went up a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I have him for 36 minutes right now. He should get a ton of minutes out there and a great matchup for him. Put up a really good game on Saturday. So just a great matchup overall for OKC. Now, Houston has been playing a lot better defense than they have in the regular season, but it's still such a pace-up spot. It doesn't necessarily matter to me. So Chris Paul is someone I want to get to. Dennis Schruter, another guy like Malcolm Brogdon, who I've just been all over since the playoffs. He hit the other day too, and at $6,200, it looks like, his price went up $500, but I still want to get there because this is the kind of game, Schroeder's a fast-paced player who likes to get in the open court, who likes to hit the step. He's a fun little fast-paced player, and this is the kind of game script that really fits Schroeder's style of play, which is why I've been all over him. And a 1.05 point per minute player, someone's going to play 34 minutes today. I absolutely love him. $6,200. Still doesn't feel enough. He can. I don't think he's going to put up another 55 point game like he did the other day, but he could get you 30, 40 points. He could get you to 40 points, and that's going to do it enough for you. So I do think Schroeder's good. He's a little more riskier than he's been because he's at 6,200, but I still do like Dennis Schroeder. Evan Fournier, 5,300, probably once again going to be chalk, and I've actually been just fading Evan Fournier because he's been so chalky, and I just don't want to play that in GPPs. But in cash, Fournier is still a good play, and he's honestly still a good play in GPPs just because of how bad Milwaukee is against shooting the three-point shot. And that's what Fournier does. We just need to get hot, and that's it. At 5,300, he's going to play 34 minutes. Gets a usage bump of Aaron Gordon, although the usage has kind of been down in the playoffs, but Still, I think Fournier is still great. He still grades out as one of my top values of the day. But if he gets chalky again, I'll probably avoid him in GPPs. And I assume he will be. So if you're playing tournaments, I wouldn't play Fournier. I would try to pivot elsewhere to less chalkier players who have just as high of a ceiling as Fournier. And then in cash, I think it's a great play. I think Fultz is another good play in cash. He's going to play a ton of minutes, high point per minute producer at $4,700. That's pretty much it for Markelle Fultz. Terrence Ross, $4,900. He's been playing a lot of minutes as well. A high usage guy off the bench right now. Someone I like to get to because he's not coming into a high ownership. Like this is someone like you just pivot off. If you just pivot off Fournier to Ross in a tournament, that's going to give you a ton of differentiation from the field. And it's something that like Terrence Ross has outscored Fournier, I think, all 3 games, maybe only 2 out of 3. So I just don't see any reason why that can't happen again. Nikola Vucevic, $9,100 on DraftKings. His price has gone up, but he's just, taking over so much usage without Aaron Gordon. That's another one I guess we have to look out for. Aaron Gordon's questionable again, but I don't expect him to play. He hasn't played any game at this point. I don't really see why he'd come back now. But $9,100 for Nikola Vucevic. It's just a good price, like a decent. That's what he should be priced at. So I don't hate it, but not something I'm really like wanting to get to. If I'm playing a bunch of tournament lineups, I think Vooch is someone to get a little bit of exposure to, but not someone I want to play in cash, not someone I want to play in single entry, anything like that. CJ McCollum, $7,700 on DraftKings. I just put him because it's just priced right. He's playing in the upper 40s of minutes a game right now, and he just grades out as a decent play for me, but nothing too special. Someone I just want some shares of in tournaments, I think. But yeah, that's really it for McCollum. No one else on Portland I'm really too interested in. They're all too expensive. Alright, I think that's all I really got to say in this video. We've had pretty much the same every other day. It's the same video, so. But, hopefully you guys got some good information from this. Soon we have the Toronto-Boston series coming up, so that'll be new games to get into, which I'm excited for. Make sure to stick around for more content from NBA, NASCAR, NFL, NCAA football, basketball. Leave a like, leave a comment, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon or follow me on social media, I'll put the links below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great, great day and maybe make some money tonight.